Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Good morning. Happy Tuesday morning. It's a dreary, dreary day in Florida, but it's kind of normal, isn't it? Um, yeah, we're getting back to Chibis. I see people in the comments. Jonathan Reyes, Retro Collective, and Biggles says, "Yay, Chibis!" Biggles, I need to have you on the channel sometime in the near future so we can learn together how to make chibis because I know that was one of your desires is to get better at making chibis. So I keep forgetting to message you. If you don't mind, would you message me on Twitter, Twix, and send me a message? I think I have it open for the DM for people I know. And yeah, if you don't mind, send me send me a message about Chibi. You could it doesn't have to be a long one. You could even just be like, you told me to send you a message or whatever like that. Just send me a message and we will be in the talks if you want to. If you want to. But yeah, so this morning I was like, let's bring back some chibis. Let's bring back some chibis. And we're doing a very, very special. By the way, do I sound okay? Because I'm a little bit further away from my mic so that I can actually see my paper properly as compared with my old microphone. People told me that I sound better with this new microphone, but I want to make sure because I'm not right up on it that it's still coming through clearly. Um, just let me know. Sounds great. Okay, sounds good. Okay, we'll do that now before I forget. Yes, thank you, Biggles. All right. So yeah, we're doing an extra special kind of chibi today because we're doing my mother. She asked if I would make a chibi of her, and that was a while ago. Sorry, Mom. And so we're gonna get on it now, and I'm gonna do a big one. You can see it's a big piece of paper. It's actually paper that she bought for me. So just how fitting is that? And got all my supplies over to the side. By the way, why don't we just do a quick haul, as they say, of my supplies here? So you can see I'm using my little blue pencil. People might wonder why are we using blue pencil? Supposedly, well, it's like when you do your rough sketch, basically. And then if you would sketch over top of that, perhaps you've seen that maybe in my dragon drawing tutorial where like we might do a simple sketch and then you do a different color over top of that and it's a nice cleaner sketch. So that way you can differentiate because this was before, this kind of technique was before digital, before the layers, where you could just stack on top. So this is essentially creating your layers. And I've got my Faber-Castell eraser, but I also have my Faber-Castell kneaded eraser. And then this, I use both. It might seem silly to have two different kinds of erasers, but actually I've got three. Shout out to Terra Crystal for getting me a whole bunch of these Faber-Castell. You might notice a trend here. Erasers. It's got like a little bit of chalk on the top, and then it's got the eraser at the top there. It's for getting into the really fine areas. I've got my Prismacolor sharpener. Then I have different pencils here, also Faber-Castell. When you figure out what you like, but I've got the BB and the H or 2H, and that just has to do with the roughness and the softness of the graphite. I do have a Copic brush marker, but it's usually if I'm going to do outlines and I want different thicknesses. Also, shout out to Terra Crystal because I got these acrylic paint highlights, basically little markers of paint. Yeah. And last but not least, well, it's penultimately, I've got this. Now you might be like, hey, Tabitha, you're drawing. Why in the world would you need a fan brush? And I'll tell you why. I would need a fan brush because when you start, especially if you're using graphite, when you go like this with your hand to get all the excess off, you risk smudging the paper. So That's why. So you use this. It's a nice delicate way to just get the stuff off, the little bits and pieces. I see little weird things on my paper. Oh, and then last but not least for me, whenever I make my chibis, I like to have a nice foundation to start off with that I don't have to work too hard for. I got this as a giveaway from our buddy RevKev here on YouTube. And he gave me this patch as a I won. I won a book, which I have yet to read, written by his wife. And then I got this patch, the 51st Legion is for Canada, because he's our neighbor to the north. And ever since I've gotten this patch, I use it to make literally all of my hand-drawn chibis because it is the perfect size for me to work with. So I highly recommend it. I mean, if you're good at drawing circles that a lot of people are not, then good for you. I like to know that I'm correct right off the bat and I don't have to work too hard for it. So literally, and what's great is because it's flexible. So this little bag, I literally will take this with me almost everywhere I go, whether it's to the parks, the airport, all kinds of travel, wherever the case might be. And it just fits so nicely in there. And it's just thick enough that it kind of keeps things upright, keeps my pencil secure in this little bag. So I highly recommend finding yourself a nice stencil to give you a great foundation because it gives me this perfect circle. And so this is literally my supplies. Also, I have my Ohuhu paper. And of course, I said last but not least, a good cup of coffee, and there we go. But here we are. Let's get started with my mom. Right on. I've got some really cool references over to the side, kind of have a Lisa Frank vibe. So I think that would be super fun. We've got some new folks. We got Freddie that says good morning. Tabitha in chat, too early for streams. Nah, it's 9:16 over here. Juliet says good afternoon. Hello. And it's Joker's voice. Hi, Tabitha! Exclamation point ×3. I'm at work, but I wanted to say howdy. How do you, Joker's voice? How are you doing? Drawing circles, use a cup or a dish instead. You could do that. You could literally use anything. But for me, because it's not heavy for travel and stuff like that, this is the perfect size. They sell things like this in plastic in different sizes, but for me, this is the perfect size for chibis when I'm making my chibis. Like I literally do that for all of my hand-drawn chibis. All right. For me, it's 7 a.m. Well, I've been up since 7. So does that count? All right. Let's see. Let me check out my reference. I have already made a couple of mistakes here. Doing a little bit of a different pose, I think. It's been a little while since I've made some chibis, so. And since I'm doing a slightly different pose than what I typically do, I'll have some fun with that. I want her head to be just a little bit tilted. Try not to draw too heavy-handed here. It's 6 a.m. for me. And we're not live on Kick today. We're not live on Kick. And my mom has one ear that sticks out further than the other, but I guess we'll not really focus on that. But everybody's got a different ear that's slightly different. I have one ear that's just, I mean, you have to look for it, but when you see it, you see it. Like one ear that's slightly lower than the other. My mom has one that sticks out a little more because she said when she was little, it would fold over while she was sleeping. And that happens. Now these ears will probably disappear because I'm going to draw my mom the way that I remember her. She's still with us, but I'm going to draw her the way that I remember her. Like when I think of my mom, This is how I'm going to draw her. Like many people's mothers, unfortunately not all, but like many people's mothers, um, their appearance changes throughout time. And so the natural gift of time takes over. My mom has a lot more gray now. Of course she does. Why wouldn't she? She's earned all the wisdom and stress from having me as a child. But my mom is a natural blonde. So I'm going to draw my mom the way that I remember her. So this might be a kind of a fun personal journey. Okay, so I'm pretty happy with this base. Face looks like it's tilted a little bit more than I had wanted to, which makes it really frustrating when you transfer from digital to this, where it's like, okay, I can't I naturally I just want to take my fingers and rotate this, but I can't do that. So I really like this shape, but I really would love for it to be more like this, I think. I mean, it's not terrible. Let's just work with it. Let's see what we get. Maybe I mean, chibis are supposed to be a little more, happy-go-lucky. It's a caricature. And I do my little teardrop body for a foundation. Hope everybody slept okay. Let me tuck my hair behind my ears here. There we go. A little bit more open-faced. It's a little bit cooler on my face now, too. Yeah, I haven't done chibis by hand in a while, so it's like it's about time. Chibi animations? Okay, that's a question, but it's kind of open-ended. I don't know what that means. Like, am I doing chibi animations? Is that what you're asking? Here we go. All right, let's look at our reference. We got several choices, but I really like this one. So this is going to be a slightly different kind of chibi than what I normally do. Usually my chibis, the shoulders are really up really far by the head. Almost there's like no neck almost. But this one there is. There is. So we're just going to use a little bit of anatomy, drawing things. Go with the shoulder raises up a little bit. Here we go. Yeah. Oh, okay. All right. Okay. Starting to already love it. It's a questionable idea. Like, that makes it sound dubious. Okay. Let's see. I'm I'm breaking the rules here. Yeah, I'm totally breaking the rules, but that's okay. Tabitha's mom blonde, so why not blonde Tabitha? I will never be blonde. I'm gonna just write that down in the cement of life. I will never be blonde. But I mean, lots of people who are blonde don't have. My brother's not blonde. My brother's brunette. My father's brunette. He was blonde when my dad's hair has been through some phases, man. Like when he was little, it was brunette. And then as he got older, from like kindergarten probably through high school, because my dad, I guess, was outside all the time. He was like bleach blonde, almost. Um, he was blonde blonde, and I don't know. I've always had dark hair. I will always have dark hair. I will never be blonde. Okay, I'm trying. I think I'm following this reference a little too literally, and it's breaking my way of doing chibi. So let's just not look at this reference and let's just figure out how Tabitha would do this. That's what my mom would want anyway. How would Tabitha make a chibi? Nick Brown, what's up? Yeah, no. I may have a little I have aught against blondes. Okay, so I would oh man, if I want to make this work though, I gotta here we go. It's a little different. Yeah, that's funny. I didn't realize I had such a standard way of doing let's see, of doing chibis that it would be hard to change it up just a little bit. Nope, this has got it. So this is straight here, and that so it goes that way. Thumb kind of just generalized shapes here, just to get at least the idea of where these. We might have to just have the no neck feature. Good morning. How are you, Nick Brown? How are you? All right, so then there's this one comes down over here. My mom is so the plan is. Some people like brunettes, some others like blondes. Choices are there. Okay, so the whole thing about I will never be blonde. Yeah, blonde people are beautiful, and I hate them for it. That's not to say that brunettes are not beautiful. But there is something to be said, and I know everyone's gonna like eye roll or whatever like that about representation. And I think that it has more to do with like who you're around, family dynamic, but there is something to be said about how well before back in my day it was not social media, but Hollywood. Hollywood and now with social media, it's a little different now with social media, but nevertheless, there was this thing about, blondes always have more fun. Gentlemen prefer blondes. Barbies were blonde. You could absolutely, as a child, you could absolutely tell that brunettes were secondary. Um, so especially as a girl, as a female, because we're naturally wired to want to be attractive, it was difficult not to like my parents didn't train me this way. Like they never told me I wasn't beautiful because I was a brunette. Like there was nothing like that. And heck, I grew up in a third world country where pretty much everybody was brunette. But hey, it's Tommy. Good morning, sir. How are you? How are you? Are you killing it at the YouTube game? But anyway, the influence, it's very powerful. This is why it's really careful that you or really important that you have conversations with your kids and you affirm your daughters and all this kind of stuff. Um, because I wasn't told, I was influenced to believe that brunettes were secondary to blondes. That was the culture. It might not be that way anymore, especially like again with now the rise of social media. But when I was a kid, with Hollywood and everything, it was still on the end trails of all of that. That blondes people, men preferred blondes, and And then, I've come to terms with all of this. Like, I know that that's not true anymore. As an adult, I totally get that. I love the fact that just not too long ago, a couple years ago, it was almost seemed like it was the rise of the brunettes where, everybody was honing in on Eva Mendes and was it Jessica Biel, even Gina Carano, all these women, all of a sudden they were like, man, she's so hot and I love her and she's great. And all the other crass things that men say about women they find attractive. Excuse me. And all of a sudden it was like I don't want to say the scales, but it just really showcased that, okay, Hollywood is not the real world. And when you have years of this mindset that has been in like all around you that's been persuading you your entire life, it's hard not to think that way. And so it was just also the other thing, like, this is like a personal. There was like this guy that I liked, and it's very few guys that I ever liked. And this one girl that was kind of my friend told me like she was notoriously a giant flirt, and all the guys went for her because she was blonde. She was blonde, and she like literally the same day that she told me that, oh, you and so would make such a great couple, was literally the day she like swooped in and started flirting with that guy, and that guy fell for every trick and maneuver that she had. And so that honestly is the whole thing why I don't like blondes. I say that loosely, but it's one of those things where it's like, I will never be blonde. I feel like I would betray myself if I ever did. Plus, I just don't think that I would. I don't have a desire to be blonde. I love my hair. I have beautiful hair. Um, I have very nice hair. I take care of it as best as I can. But that again, that's not to say like I've had blonde friends. My best friend, my best friend, and we just realized that we're celebrating 20 years as friends. She's blonde. So it's just a personal stigma, but honestly, like it's for sure. Like, so when I was saying like representation matters, it doesn't. Like it's more about influence. It's like, and again, it's also affirming, like if you have daughters, if you have nieces, younger cousins, whatever the case might be, we don't realize how, I don't know that if men really fully understand how much Hollywood and everything like that impacts you. Because if you see that everybody, majority of people, um, are geared. It's all about influence. It is. Again, this is why I'm really grateful that my parents did monitor a lot of what my brother and I watched and stuff like that. But, and no parent, like every parent does the best that they can. Shout out to my mom who we're working on today. But and how are they supposed to know what's going through the mind of a child that I didn't even fully understand what I was seeing, what my thoughts were developing into? But it was true. It was just that thing where when you hear it often enough, you don't have to have somebody tell you. It's more about social and cultural acceptance. So when all of the movies and all of the famous people and everybody jokes around about how wonderful and beautiful and, oh, a blonde bombshell. When was the last time you said somebody was a brunette bombshell, right? It's just influence. There's actually not necessarily a lot of factoids to it, per se, because so many guys find women that are redheads or brunettes far more attractive. But the influence. And so that's why, it's a good to make sure you let the girls, and don't be creepy about it, but like the young girls in your life, like I said, family members, letting them know, God made you the way you are. You're beautiful, and don't let the trends of the time ebb and flow. And I think more parents understand that now more than they did back when I was a kid, because again, social media wasn't a thing. I have never cared about hair color, but eyes. Yeah, and that was the thing. I figured I was just some basic girl because I was brown haired and brown eyes. Where's the fun in that? But I think it's also just because brown eyes can be very beautiful. But I think it was also because my best friend at the time when I was little was also blonde and blue eyed. That didn't help. And I think just because I love colors, that I found brown to be just bland. But I'm older now, and I tell you what, there are some brown eyes that just look like cat eyes, like they just glow. It's beautiful. It's everybody's different. Confirmed. Tabitha doesn't like me because I am a dirty blonde. That's not. I know. No, like I said, my best friend today, who I would die for, is blonde, dirty blonde. Well, I mean, she's blonde to blonde now. She went to California on a work trip, and that sun, like, oh, highlighted her hair. Tabitha looks good as a brunette. Thank you. I have never heard of brunette beauty. I wonder if it's because brunette is not fun to say. Blonde, easy. Redhead, kind of fun. Brunette is I don't know. I don't think it's an easy word to say. Maybe if we said it like French, brunette, like that, maybe that would make it more fun. Brown eyes are like pools of honey. If you go out in the sun, I've seen people. Oh, I know that, Biggles. I'm just teasing you. Don't be so sensitive, man. Blondes. I tell you what, they're so sensitive. So sensitive. Um, okay. So the idea, by the way, is that I want my mom to be really happy. I'm gonna have like a work table here. Because she's an art and crafter kind of gal, and I'm gonna put things in her hands, whether it's a paintbrush or something like that, to indicate all of her fun, crafty things. And I thought it would be fun to add a little bit of magic to this and have some stuff in the background, maybe like her work office area, her craft zone, her studio, and then have like this magical band if I could work it, or something like that, with floating fun things. I don't know. Maybe I'll just put her outside. It's hard to tell. They usually just say bombshell for brunettes. Yeah, yeah. You'd be surprised how negating the brunette, the adjective part of that, is again, you do it often enough, it's influential. My eyes are more silver than blue nowadays. That's pretty cool. Tomby's turning into a wolf. You heard it here first. Tomby needs to be looked after because if there's a werewolf in London, we'll know why. Okay, so that means that I don't really have to do legs, which is great. So I like this. Now, the hair is going to be hard. I have a hard time with hair anyway, but my mom has curly hair. Ugh, which is fine for her. But as far as drawing, that's rough for me. And every artist that I've had a chance to like chit chat with, they always say that you should draw the hair in the shape rather than like individual strands right off the bat. So, but as far as like hair and stuff like that, it goes the same thing for Tommy. Good morning, JM the Elite Fan. How are you? All right, so I really love the reference that I have here because it reminds me a lot of how my mom's hair once looked. So, I don't know how to draw the shape of I don't know how to draw the shape of her hair. So I think maybe what's wrong with curly hair? I do love girls with curly hair. There is nothing wrong with curly hair. There's nothing. I always been a fan of straight hair on dudes anyway, but I don't know, I just think it's fun how they can spike it up. I love me a good faux hawk. Yes, that is my generation. Spikes and faux hawks. I love it. Anyway, but curls are man, they're gorgeous, man. They're gorgeous. So, sometimes I wonder how those people with the really tight hair, um, how they manage to not have it tangle up all the time. So, all right. So, I mean, well, I think maybe I should do her face first so that way I know the ratio, like the distance of her forehead to her hair. So, all right. We are kind of turned this way. Wonder if I should draw my mom with glasses. She had glasses. Well, she still does, but she went contacts for a while. I'm trying to think of like when I remember my mom, what does my mom look like? And I think I'm going to draw my mom without glasses, even though she's had glasses my entire life. My mom always had like these funky glasses. Like my mom loves the funky glasses. If you've ever watched the Great British Baking Show, the newer episodes where Prue is in there. My mom loves her style because it does mirror a lot of like what my mom loves with the funky glasses. I might need to turn this so that I'm not drawing her eyes too much at an angle. I'm telling you what, I constantly want to hit the undo button. This is crazy. Crazy. I wonder how you would look with curly hair. My hair's curled right now. No, I do have curly hair. I just don't have tight curls. I have natural beach waves. Sometimes curls are funky. Underneath, I have the best curls. Like I'll get nice curls. Up top, it's a gamble. And my hair's finicky. Like if I sleep with damp hair, I will have the best looking hair, but in the morning. But you can't brush curls if you want them to look beautiful. Okay. If you want them to be together and having fun and looking, nice and sweet, that's the downfall of curly hair is you can't really brush it. Otherwise it just poofs, all the individual curls just go wild. So I am a creature of a particular habit where like the first thing I do in the morning is to comb my hair. I have to. I have to. And so it's a lot of work. And so a lot of times I'll just let it dry, let it do whatever it does, and then I will just use a curling iron. She left the British Bake Off? Who's there now? Like, I swear, like, that show is just not what it once was. The second that they got rid of the two ladies as the hosts, oh, what are their names? Now I can't remember their names. Sue and is it Jen? Jen Perkins and Sue, some kind of Polish last name or something. It's just never, I mean, I don't mind, is it Noel? I don't mind Noel. I like Noel, but everybody else. And I will say I like Mary Berry, but I really, really, I do like Prue, and that show's just never been quite the same. I do have a wide tooth comb. I only ever comb my hair with a wide tooth comb. Big, big, big. Okay, so. Should I give her maybe some really big eyes? Let's see. We want her happy and smiling. I don't know. Yeah, okay, that's what it is. It's not Jen. I don't know why I was saying Jen. Mel. Yeah. I don't know how to pronounce it. Maybe it's Welsh. I keep saying it's Polish. Maybe it's like Welsh. Gaydrock. I don't know. I'll have to look it up. Yeah, those two were a dynamic duo. Like they are just so much better at the English humor for a wide audience, I feel, in my opinion. Because English humor, British humor is not for everybody. And I feel like they're better at selling it for everybody than the others. Can't stand that Danish woman. Can't really stand her. It feels very forced. But Mel and Sue have been working together for years. So going for breakfast, catch you later if you're still alive, brunette Tabitha. Yeah, I have things that I need to do today. And I want to apologize, guys. I know I haven't been live quite as often, excuse me, honestly, as I would like to. Work has kind of picked up. So it just kind of makes it hard to find the time. But, I guess it makes it more special when we do get our time together. But, nah, man, I love British Baking Show, though. I'm telling you what. I love British. My family and I, we would watch it together, and we love it, man. That would be the show that we would watch on like a Sunday afternoon. We'd come home from church. My brother and sister-in-law would come over. We got her into it, and we're very influential to my sister-in-law. We got her into gaming. We got her into Lord of the Rings. Oh my goodness. We just exposed her to a whole new world. Hey, it's Logical Spark. Good morning. I myself haven't actually had breakfast yet either. I made some bread yesterday, and maybe I'll have that with some jam. Man, I remember when I first started doing Chibis, they had some big eyes, and I'm not sure what happened. I wonder if I drew them bigger than I do now, because back then I didn't have my handy dandy little tool here. This is so fun drawing Chibis again. I should do more. Maybe I am. I do have some plans for some Chibi characters. I have some more Chibi characters I would like to draw, and then I do somebody had mentioned animation. I don't know about animation, but I do have some stories for that. All right. Oh, this is what's really, really cool is that my computer screen, the camera is picking up my image in reverse versus what I'm seeing here also. But I recently have come to understand that mirroring your image helps prevent it from looking wonky. So this is doing the work without me having to. So I don't think she looks creepy. She's not done yet, but there's still time to make my mom look creepy. My mom, I'm telling you what, she was terrifying as a kid. I mean, she had to be. I was a rough kid. But man, whew, my mom is a wonderful person. Everybody loves my mom, right? She's great. My mom's great. I'm telling you what, but when she's not great, even when she's not great, quote unquote, she was great because, my mom always said, as a parent, you have to first be your kids' parent before you become your kids' friend. Which is so true because my mom and I are friends to this day. I don't know that a lot of people can say that. My mom and I are like best friends. And I know a lot of young moms would be like, "Oh, my kids are my best friends." No, shut up. No, they're not. They hate you as soon and literally will hate you as soon as you don't treat them right and all this kind of stuff. And that just comes with being a new person into the world and experiencing things and not understanding boundaries and stuff like that. Like you kind of have to earn your kids' friendship, and my mom did. Like, man, I was such a rebel. You would never know it today, but I was such a rebel when I was a kid. My mom had her work cut out. That's why she attributes all that gray hair to me. Um, and I told her, I was like, "You're welcome," because the Bible says it's wisdom. So you got to earn that wisdom. And I gave it to you for free. But bless her, Lord. But yeah, no, my mom and I are like best friends, and not everybody gets to say that about their mom. And so I'm very uh, I might change the nose of my chibi. I really like this chibi reference. I'd never really done a nose like this before. Let's give my mom. I inherited my cuteness. At least I was always told my nose was cute. I inherited my cute nose from my mother, so we have to pay homage to that. I wasn't told very often growing up that I was beautiful. I was quite the ugly duckling. I will say that. That's not self-deprecating. Like I was rough, man. I was a tomboy. Look, I was such a tomboy, but then came the thing where it's like I kind of want to be girly, but that's a lot of work. So I'll stick with what works for me, which did not work. So sad. But hey, that's part of the initiation of life. You got to go through your ugly phase. Although I'm a little salty at all. I told it to one of my younger cousins. I'm a little bit salty about how good looking your generation is at your age. I don't like it. Where is the excessive eyeshadow that doesn't match your outfit, that is not well blended with your weird looking lipstick that makes you look stupid but cute at the same time? Like, where is that? Where is that? These girls are looking a little too fine and put together this day and age, and I don't appreciate that. I don't appreciate. We had to work for that, man. Like these girls are already looking together, and I don't like that. They're looking like college students already at the age of 9. I don't appreciate it. My teenage self does not appreciate that. Can there be a Captain Planet chibi? That would be a lot of fun. Logical Spark, every now and then, you might just have to come into the chat and be like, "Hey, do you remember?" And I'll get to it. I'm a little bit backlogged, if that's the word, on projects right now because I was hired to make a project. So I got to get that taken care of. May or may not live stream that. It's a pretty simple project, but it's, still takes work. And then And then I was also I've also got another project for someone else that I'm going to be working on. It's like kind of like a 4-piece project that goes into one. On top of all the other stuff that I've done. By the way, if you haven't seen my latest video where I asked digital artists to take on a Bob Ross tutorial in real time, you need to check it out. It's featuring 1-800-DANKY and Horror with Nods, Nadia. It's super fun. And yeah, you get a kick out of it. Also, if you've seen in the community tab, there is a post for you to vote on. You got to watch the video first, and then you got to vote on who did Bob's tutorial the best. And I'd love to see what you guys say about that. So far, everybody's saying that not everybody, 55% are saying that I did the best, and you guys are liars. But at the same time, I appreciate the support. Go watch the video and let me know. Maybe I'm just, maybe you guys just have too much faith in me. I personally think that Danky did the best, but whatever. A new female host, Caroline Waldergrave. Oh, the English just have these great last names. But only the celebrity specials. Not sure if Prue is going to do the main one or not. I mean, to be fair, the British baking show has been going on for like, what, 10 years now, something like that. It's okay to call the quits. I mean, it's not okay, but it's okay. Like, it's one of those shows that honestly, we go back and we just watch it over and over again. Like, it's okay. We just go back and watch the originals. It's okay. Okay. I don't think it's too off. I don't think it's too askew. I still wish that I could tilt her head this way, but sometimes it works out. So now that I've got, let's just try this. I need to zoom in on this nose. What we got here? So I've seen these noses before. They're kind of cutesy ootsy. Did I finish the dragon? Which dragon? Which dragon was which dragon? The ones that I was doing with Maria? Is that what you're talking about? All right, so this is kind of like a cute little, like this. It's a little over to the side, but then okay, so it's kind of like what is this shape? What in the freak is this shape? All right, I got to break down what the shape is. So we kind of have like this, but then there's so like an arrow. Okay. And this goes up a little higher. And then you kind of shade it. It's kind of cute. We'll play around with it. I don't think I did it. That's my first time doing. So oh shoot. Man, you go from digital to this. I'm telling you, it's a little bit irritating. In a good way, though. But it's a little bit irritating. It's like, you make one little mistake and you're like, undo, because it's that easy. But it's like, I can't do that. This nose is a little strange, but that could be just because I'm not used to it. I don't really want her to have a chipmunk nose. So then it's like got this, I think I had a dream about this. So then it's got like this little highlight at the top. It's kind of cute. I don't know if you guys can see. Oop. Hey, Brett. How are you? It's been going on 15 years. Yes, that dragon. Do you mean the series, Juliet? Because I finished the dragon. You mean like the dragon body? Because we finished that on the stream. I might need more information. But Brett, I hope you're doing well. Hope you slept well. Here we go. All right, we got a cute little nose. I don't think it's too off-center there. We'll play with it. It's kind of like a little bubbly deer nose. My mom has a big smile. Oh, my mom has a big smile. She got one of those smiles where she shows all the teeth. I can't do that. Like, she has I don't know how people do that, how God just makes that. Like, when she smiles, you can see all her teeth, and it's a nice smile. It's a happy smile, right? I can't do that. Like, I'm not sure. Just however God shaped my face, as much as I look like my mom, I did not inherit her smile. I think I inherited my dad's smile. So it's like you just get to see the front row. If I were to show my bottom teeth, I have to really pull my face back, and then it's very uncomfortable. It's not natural. I mean, I guess I'd have to keep my mouth a little bit open. No, she keeps her mouth closed and can smile, and you can see her. I can't I can't do that. I feel like if I did that with this character, though, I might just show the top teeth. That's the thing about caricatures, you have to take some liberties. Um, that's not true. I can feel my space when I smile. You said you're gonna finish on Maria's stream? Ah, okay, I got you what you're saying. So, the next stream, I gotta talk to Maria about that. I'm not exactly sure what happened. I think maybe we mixed signals or something like that. Maria's supposed to teach us the last class. So I finished technically I did my job. Maria's the one slacking. Just saying. So, next time she goes live this week, you guys should go over to her channel and flood the feed full of questions of like, hey Maria, when are you guys gonna finish that dragon drawing class that you started? um that would be hilarious. Yeah, you guys should totally do totally do. Oh, this is interesting. So it goes, curls up a little bit and then around, curl up a little bit, and we go around, and then we come, let's see, I think we might have to do this again. Oh, but that's kind of nice. And then we got our teeth. Give her some nice teeth. That's cute. I'm gonna have to try to. It's a little off, but oh, I wasn't sure if it was based on that one song where it's like I can't feel my face when I'm with you. One of the dumbest love songs. I don't know the rest of the lyrics, but that right there just lets me know that it was not. It sounds like something that was written by AI. I can't feel my face when I'm with you. What kind of lyrics are those? What kind of lyrics are those? By the way, shout out to Young Ripa for telling me and all the rest of the artists in the world this morning that we are disposable. I didn't realize I was going to wake up this morning and get lectured, but it was a good lecture. It was a necessary lecture. I did not want to hear it, so that lets you know it was necessary. Now, it was a really good video about AI and artists and how to keep going, but the harsh truth, the harsh reality of my drawing is that her head is it's tilted way too much. I would have to redo her body. I don't want to redo her head because I like the way things are going, but this is a problem. What is Maria's YouTube channel called? You know what? I do you one better. Make it easy for you guys. Maria's channel is called Unlocking Lore, but I'm going to make it easier for you guys by putting it in the chat here. Please be sure to subscribe to her channel. We're trying to get her to that 350 mark. She's currently at 339. We could get one more. She could wake up this morning to 340 subscribers. But yeah, she starts having art and chatting, art and tales. She has other people coming on her channel. I think she's just trying to be like me, honestly. No, Maria's great. She's actually a storyteller, so she'll tell stories while she does her artwork and everything like that. So she's combining two ancient crafts, two ancient arts together. She has the try and finish it streams, which I've been a part of. And she's just trying to grow her YouTube channel over there. So she's an artist worth checking out. Clearly, that person is having an allergic reaction to that person. Yeah, and they probably shouldn't be together if that's the case. If being around another person makes you unable to feel your face, that sounds like a serious problem. Supposedly, he's talking about RX. Is that like pharmaceuticals? Is that what he's talking about? I don't know. So, um, yeah. Oh, I don't know. I think my mom could tilt her head this far. I think she could do it if she really tried. All right. Um I wonder what kind I want to give her fun, bright eyes. Again, my mom has a great smile, so that of course should be reflected in the eyes. Let's look at our reference here. Want to make sure she's not cross-eyed. That's super important. Never make your mother look cross-eyed, unless she is cross-eyed, and then even then you maybe just want to tweak that a little bit. Drugs? Okay. So maybe I shouldn't do too much judgment until I've heard the whole story of my life. But yeah, the first time I heard those lyrics, I'm like, this doesn't what? I can't feel my face when I'm with you. Who wrote this? What kind of dweeb wrote these lyrics and said, let's make, but at the same time, I'm just jealous because it's like, oh, you can write lyrics like that and get paid. I feel attacked and a little bit bitter. Okay, I think she looks like she's looking at you, right, guys? Does that look like the character is looking at you? I think I need to work on her smile because it's giving serial killer. So, what happens if I get rid of the smile? It's a little bit maybe the word is that uncanny? Is that the word we're looking for? I'm not really familiar. Yeah, that looks a lot friendlier already. Poor Mole. Yeah, sorry. Shout out. No, but if you're an artist, or even if you're not an artist and you kind of want to understand artists and their struggle with the uprising of AI and the competitive resources that are out there, you should definitely check out Young Ripa's latest video. It'll have the Ghibli, which thumbnail on it that says this was made by AI, just so he could prove a point. Really, really great video, especially for artists of the current society. I would love to say the 21st century, but the 21st century has gone through such radical changes the last couple of years and the radical advancements that it almost seems inaccurate to say in the 21st century. There needs to be a new term, I think. Okay. So, all right, Mom. What kind of smile? We might just have to work on that later. I only have about half an hour left, but this was what I wanted to get to. My mom doesn't wear a lot of makeup, so I probably shouldn't make her eyelashes too big. At the same time, it's a chibi, so character. So, all right, hair. Maybe that will pull it all together. Let me see. All right, so if I were to, okay. I'm gonna just start off with one random curl. I'm not the best at the curls. To give me just a point of reference, maybe. My mom has a smaller forehead like I do. Okay, so one nice big curl. My mom has smaller curls like my brother. Hey, it's Staccato DDS. What is up, friend? I was telling the ladies at Force of Light Entertainment that Staccato is legend. Wait for it. Jerry. I'm just over here drawing my mother today, Staccato. How are you and the family doing? How are you? I don't want to draw attention to your the circumstances, even though now that I say it like that, totally have drawn the attention to the circumstances. But how's the I just want to how's the family doing? I think about I think about that every time I see you in someone's chat. Um, and guys, I haven't seen Elsa Barrett in a little while. Is he doing okay? I hope his mom is okay. Speaking of moms, shout out to Elsa Barrett and prayers for him and his family. He asked for prayers for his mom, and we should definitely give them. He's part of the community, and everybody's mom is important. Even if they're a bad mom, they're still really important. They're just misguided and could use prayers. Could use prayers. Okay, so we got the one curl, which is super cute, although it's making my mom look like a baby right now. But we're just going back in time, but that'll fix itself. We don't have any eyebrows yet, too. So okay, so then we have like this line. I was also watching Sam Does Art, Sam Yang, and he was just doing like these loose lines. So let's just see what we got. And this is a shape. It's really hard for me not to. All right, we're just gonna pretend like that's there we go. Okay, we got one spiral. Oh, which is actually supposed to be this. I don't know. We'll play with it. I don't like drawing curly hair. I think once I learn to master it, of course, but my understanding of how this works is just not quite there yet. Probably. I'm thinking about having a stream of learning, like drawing all the things that I hate to draw, like hands, feet, and just learn how to do it. That way I can combat my hatred and fill it with love. So yeah, we'll put the details of the curls in there later, but this is our shape. I mean, it's looking like curls. There's no doubt about it. Okay, so then this kind of like it curls and comes into a smaller shape. Like that, but there's still hair that goes this way. Like, how are you supposed to turn this even into like just a shape? Like, I don't understand. And then there's like, because curls are all kinds of shapes. So how do you draw it just as the shape? Like this is befuddling. I don't understand. I totally need to watch some more. Okay, so then this comes here and something like that. I mean, I don't think it's turning out badly, but it's complicated. Okay, so then it's just my reference. So of course we can fudge it a little bit. Doesn't have to be exact. I really like the way her curls look. So I don't. My mom doesn't like her hair in her face, so we might have to mess around with this curl. She can't stand it. I've tried to do my mom's hair when she, as any typical woman, goes through a moment where she's like, where we're like, I just don't like my hair. I would like just something fresh. So I try to do something, and she doesn't like it because I think sometimes having little wisps of the hair in the face, look nice. And well, while they look nice, it's not my mom's cup of tea. So let's try to keep hair out of the face. My mom does have this weird cowlick. that she always complains about. And I try to tell her, well, learn to work with it. She doesn't have quite as much patience for doing her hair as I do. Because I find it therapeutic. For me doing my hair, I've always been doing like working on my hair, doing hairstyles and stuff like that since I was little. My mom, it's not really her thing. She's a practical, busy woman. She's like, I just want to have something cute and pretty and just run my hand through it and gone, done. All that. I'm not like that. I'm like, I love to take my time. Literally, I will make a cup of coffee, go into the bathroom and curl my hair while I watch a YouTube video on life and liberty and the pursuit of happiness. And I'm having a gay old time. Like for real. I'm enjoying myself. Here we go. I'm going to do a really tight curl here. Ooh, tight. Goes down. Curls are kind of wonky. They can be imperfect, so it's okay. She's looking like a Dr. Seuss character, but we're going to refine it. I think that's the plan. Like just get all these shapes in place, and then you can figure out how you wish to, modify. My mom's had short hair most of my existence, so we'll be continuous with that. Oh my goodness, Staccato! 4.99 says thanks. Django is on steroids and a special diet to keep up his weight. Okay, well, I'm glad that Django, or is it Django? I'm glad that puppy is still with us and that you get to enjoy his presence while he is still here, and hopefully there will be some breakthrough. But if the circle of life must continue, I'm glad that you get to have him around and enjoy his presence, because dogs are just a wonderful, wonderful gift. And for the $4.99, I just want to let you know.
Thank you for the joy you show.
You rock, sir. You rock. Rock on. Thank you for letting us have a rock festival this morning. Appreciate you, sir. And yes, thoughts and prayers for little I say little Django. I don't remember if you told us what kind of doggy he is. Is he a big doggy? Is he a little doggy? I don't know. Django? No hate. This is when I hear that name and I think of a dog, kind of thinking of one of these mid-sized dogs. It has one of those big bellies and oh, well, yeah, like $49.99. I missed a 9. I sorry about that. Missed a 9. Sorry. Just getting the words out. I don't know. Like kind of like one of those happy sad faces where you can't help but love them, and one of those big bellies. I mean, he might be in a super athletic puppy and I'm just doing him dirty with my description, but that's the kind of dog that I picture when I hear of Django. So sweet. So cute. What a great name too. Django sounds so what's it called? Sounds exotic. Oh, speaking, I hear a dog outside just having a life crisis at the moment. He must have seen something he did not like. Okay, this is turning out happy and cute. I wonder if I have too many curls. But appreciate that, Staccato. That's very generous of you. You don't have to do that. You and your whimsical teeth. Very appreciated. Thank you. The whimsical teeth. I don't really like this curl. Hey, real Wade Nation gaming clip. Sorry, I always wonder. I don't know why. I have this thing where my brain like swaps letters. I'm gonna assume that it has to do with dyslexia. Just self-diagnosis there. I want to put the L. I want to say real Walden Nation. I don't know why. So that's why I have to pause and be like, that's not what it says, Tabitha. It's not what it says. Appreciate you all hanging out with me this morning, this afternoon, wherever you are in your part of the world. All right, we'll put this curl here. We are drawing in arts and crafts. Chibi, I've never actually, like physically, drawn myself as a chibi. Maybe I need to attempt that, and I could use that for like pictures and thumbnails and stuff like that. Like that'd be fun. Maybe I don't know. I only time well, I did do a digital rendering of it. It was fun. And I've come a long way since then. So maybe it would be better. But I remember in college, I had to do a self portrait. That was rough. That was rough. My grandmother's like, "That doesn't look like you." I'm like, I know. Oh, a black lab. I think you said that. My favorite. We had a red lab that she had one of these thick, heavy bellies. Pronounced Django? Django? So the D is silent. It's a little less cool now that the D is silent. Just kidding. Of course not. Both names are super fun. Django, Django. Oh, look, kind of like, is it like Django Fett? Black labs, I tell you what. Kara was our dog, and she had the saddest eyes, but she was the happiest dog because she had the drooping eyes. My uncle, he would breed like show champion hunting dogs, and that's where Kara was from. That was the lineage that she had. And unfortunately, he was like, she has a pink nose and she has saggy eyes. It was really heartbreaking for him because she was such a rare color and she was so big. She was a huge female. Huge female. It kind of broke my uncle's heart that we couldn't use her as like a show champion because he's like, she would have been an easy win, but she didn't have her nose was like speckled purple and pink. Oh, so cute. Kind of looked like a mushroom. So cute. And then, yeah, she had the watery eyes. That's what they called them. Watery eyes. They sagged a little bit in the middle. She was beautiful. We didn't care. We didn't need no trophy from strangers to tell us that she was amazing. Terrified of fireworks, though. One time she ate through our door. We went to church one time. There were fireworks that went off somewhere in the neighborhood. We came home to greet the dog at the door, and we're like, how did you get out? Because we would lock them in the basement. Like, it was an unfinished basement, and we had everything that they needed down there. And while we were gone for a bit, Kara came to meet us, and she chewed through the door. Poor thing. My dad tried to train her because she's a hunting dog. She should be. It's like, yeah, but they have to. We didn't train her to be a hunting dog. She was a suburbs gal. Bless her heart. He tried to keep her on the deck one time when the fireworks went off. She didn't. My mom had to tell him like this isn't. We can't keep doing this to her. It's just not in the cards. We didn't raise her from we raised her from a puppy. In fact, my mom actually helped birth the dog. So Kara's mother was her first litter. And normally dogs have these instincts, but her mom's name, I believe, was Chelsea. Chelsea, her instincts were a little delayed. And so when she was delivering her puppies, she wouldn't, well, here's real life stuff, right? She didn't tear open the sacks. So her puppies, and she had about like 8 or 9 puppies. It was a big litter. And they're just hanging out. And we were staying at my aunt's house, and she was a nurse, my aunt, and she was at work, and her husband was at work, and all this kind of stuff. And my mom like calls her, and she's like, hey, things are happening. What am I supposed to do? And she's like, well, she should know. Like she's like, she should instinctually know how to take care of her puppies, but just monitor. And my mom's like, okay, well, is it normal? Is it normal that they just kind of stay in their little water balloons? And my aunt's like, nope, that's not good. Otherwise the doggy will drown. So she told my mom, she's like, you have to cut open the sacks. Otherwise the puppies will die. And I think my aunt was trying to get off of work to come and be with us, but it takes a little while. My aunt at the time lived out in the country, so my mom She like washed her hands. My aunt didn't have any gloves, so my mom took Ziploc bags for gloves, and then she just got stuff, and she like. And so after my mom gave a little helpful nod to Chelsea, the dog, that's when all of a sudden her instincts must have like kicked in, and she started doing everything from there on out. But she would stand and give birth to her puppies, and because Kara was such a ditz, we joke around and like to believe that she was one of the dogs that fell on her head when she came out. Oh my goodness. Oh, good times. Nothing quite like witnessing the birth of doggies and then panicking because you don't realize that you actually have to help. Suddenly you're just an honorary OBGYN. Hey, it's a Canalist saying, "Hail, everyone. Hail. How are you today, friend?" We are in the middle of trying to draw my mother and just telling stories. I'm going to start, I say deleting. Oh my goodness. Again, digital art impacts us all. I'm going to start erasing the headline here. Unfortunately, one of the puppies didn't make it from that litter. And of course, it would be my favorite one. Of course, it would be my favorite one. And I named her Milky Way. She was a chocolate lab, and she had stripes. Can you believe it? A purebred lab. She had light colored brown stripes on her back. Like she had like 2 or 3. Weirdest thing ever. My aunt and uncle thought it was very unique as well. And we were all hoping she was going to make it. I don't know if she would have lived. I don't know if those would have changed color or not, but it was very unusual. And maybe it had to do because of her sickliness. I don't know. But she was born outside of her is it the ambiotic sac? Whatever. She was born without a water balloon. And so we tried to nurse her. My aunt would stay up, they would feed her, but she was very weak compared to the other puppies. And I think she made it about a week, something like that. And so we loved on her, and we buried her in a chocolate fudge Pop-Tart box. Just felt like that was appropriate for little Milky Way. Such a pretty dynamic, but yeah, it was an interesting life lesson. Like, my uncle was very sweet about everything, but he would describe stuff, explain stuff to us. It was a great learning curve. Like I said, like in life, where it's like, okay, this is how it normally goes. This is what's supposed to happen. And unfortunately, this is not how it went. And so this is the consequences. This is how it is. Just a good life lesson. I mean, a harsh one, of course, kind of like the one young Ripa gave me today. um, but necessary, necessary. The unfortunateness, necessariness of life, But happy memories, I'm glad I got to witness such a unique puppy. That was crazy, crazy, crazy. To see a lab with stripes on it. I've never seen anything like it, and probably never will. So that's cool, So again, while it didn't have the happiest of endings, it was quite the experience to see. I've seen many other puppies born since then. It's always interesting. Like after you have that experience, it doesn't quite creep you out anymore because you're like, I've been here before. It's super fun. Well, we've got some hair, and I think that I will have to add maybe some like smaller wisps. I don't know if that's maybe what will help this little lovely creature. I said that about my mom. This lovely character. My mom. But I am gonna have to run, guys. I'm gonna have to run some errands and stuff like that. But we're off to a great start. This is just gonna take some refinement, but that's why we're doing it with a blue pencil, so that we can layer this as we go along, make some changes. I'm pretty happy with some of it. I might make the hair a little shorter because my mom, growing up, she had short, curly blonde hair. And so I'm excited. So we're going to try to do some more live streams this week as I finish this up. And I appreciate all of you. And just want to let you know that
I am the one to be your favorite.
all of you are loved by Jesus. And I hope that even if you're having a hard day, that you have a good day. Don't do whatever you like whatever you do.
If I was watching this video, I would like it. I would like the video, and I would probably subscribe because this is so thoroughly entertaining and also well executed. It's not a request.
Oh, also be sure to watch my new video and give it a like, and be sure to vote in the community post once you've watched that video. But anyway.
The thing is to keep smiling and never look as if you disapprove.